this luminary here, Dave Portnoy, has some thoughts about what he hopes happens. What he hoped would happen. I guess this was last week.
This is also in the same, I don't know, people might have saw he made, beat his chest over not making anti-Semitic jokes. Maybe we can play that. This is the
No,
exact
we'll play
same
that
thing.
second.
Okay, yeah.
I want people to see how this freak can say this and then say what he says next.
This is the Zionist, two-facedness that you get.
Have a little pressure on you as being a very prominent Jewish person.
And I'm like, yeah.
So you have to kind of be in this position. You're fighting the battle.
Yeah, the rare successful Jewish person in entertainment. I don't know. I'm going to die alone.
Another well-played joke.
Yeah, but the internet's different now.
Is this the right one? Oh, no, this is the right one. Is this the Greta one?
Yeah, this is when he lets the anti-Semitic remark fly, or slide.
Okay.
But then he goes on right in the yeah.
Great.
I didn't know it was in the same clip.
Me neither.
It is crazy, though. If we're being honest, this is also my whole story. Jews control the media. It's like, well, we're not doing a great job of it right now.
You're fucking it up. You are fucking it up.
Who's ever they're asleep, at the helm.
But now,
I just got to say, Zionists, and this includes Zionist Jews, this is not just like Josh Hawley, who is more comfortable to say this about, are actively cultivating anti-Semitism with this goddamn bullshit.
He's literally granting the premise that Jews control the media. Are you joking? That's anti-Semitic.
Russell Brand doing the same shit yesterday. We can say what we want because we have a Jew producer. Literally what he said. I mean, and this will get no call out from the ADL because they're on the same team, which is the nationalist team. It's not the anti-hate team. It's the nationalist team.
They're on the team with Elon Musk, who did the Sig Heil.
Exactly.
Who's ever they're asleep at the helm.
But now you should just go over to Gaza. We can do unnamed. You can be live in Gaza.
I'll jump on Greta Van Forsten or whatever that girl, she's sailing there. Whoever that fucking, I hope they hit a fucking a missile on her boat.
Well, I hope they
hit a missile
on the boat.
I hate when I hit a missile on a boat.
Knock that boat down, Greta, whatever her name.
Thunberg, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Have a little.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for the correction there, you little.
This is exhausting. Dave Portnoy age. Oh, I was gonna say he's 50, but it's a little. He's 48. To be fair to him, he still has some growing to do. I'm shocked that this guy who chooses to make his living as this provocateur, but also encouraging gambling addiction among his followers, doing these reckless bets that he advertises, like putting $1 million on certain games, that he doesn't see the salience in what Greta's talking about an economic system of colonialism, capitalism, and exploitation that puts short-term profits over human beings. I know somebody that used to work with that guy, a good friend of my fiance. He's got some skeletons in his closet, gotta say. And, they're not even really in his closet. They're actually just public, but he denies the multiple sexual assault allegations that were published in Business Insider, the public union busting that this guy engaged in.
Mistreatment of the people who work underneath him that I've seen online.
The women that have worked underneath him, let alone the guys at Barstool Sports.
These two little...
this is such a toxic kind of incentive structure for media that is geared towards men right now.
And it is just...
And they get off on this. This is the obsession with Greta is both in particular also. It's also misogynistic, and they are intimidated by the fact that she's a young woman who doesn't care about male approval and is solely focused on activism, being strident and being principled and not appealing to the male gaze or to male comfort. Is threatening to those guys. That's primarily what they're responding to.
As a man, I just have to say it is disgraceful that this has been put forward as the model. These two schmucks, I've never seen them in my life before, letting their boss walk all over them. You hear him say he wants to drop a missile on the boat, and the only thing you can do afterwards is correct his pronunciation of her last name and not object to it, because you know why? Because you're under his thumb.
Because he
Because
writes
you
your
have
checks.
no fucking courage.
Yes.
Because the second you do that, you're out of a job, and who the fuck are you then? A nobody. And I mean, this little thing, this little soliloquy Portnoy went on. This is how much and it's interesting. It's all these people that would downplay sort of SJW language or whatever until it becomes about Zionism, and then it's actually no jokes. Let's play this.
Yeah, now let's hear this guy cry now after he made an anti-Semitic joke, after he said he hopes this activist, who's this 22-year-old young woman's boat is bombed, which it was a month and a half ago, right before she was going to board it. This is how he reacts when these guys, I don't agree with the statement that everybody should be able to be joked about. I think jokes are funny usually when you're punching up and not when you're punching down. But their whole thing is, we get to joke about whatever, blah, 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 blah. And then Portnoy has one exception to that.
I think right now you probably
nothing.
don't do it.
Nothing. Silence everything. What do you? Every comedian, don't tell a joke about it. Because that's how the world works. I agree with you.
Go back to your question. When does freedom of speech impinge
That was your
on freedom
question,
of
not
religion?
mine. That was your question. Not
Answer it.
how many deaths?
Yeah.
I don't.
Sorry, this conversation is already insane.
They're talking about he says jokes about Jews, but the co-host says talking about the deaths, right? Is he referring to the Holocaust or is he referring to Gaza?
They're talking about I think it was after the 2 people were shot, the people who worked for the Israeli embassy in Washington.
Yeah,
okay.
3 Palestinian students were shot last year. None of these guys gave a fuck. And that was caused by the exact same thing that the violence in Colorado was, which is the ongoing genocide that our government is supporting, which is raising the temperature on all this stuff. So yeah, they can talk about whatever they want. This is him saying you can't make Jewish jokes. And the thing is Jewish jokes or jokes about Israel or whatever. I don't know what these jokes were, but this whole thing about there's an the way about religion. What's going on is about Israel. Jay Portnoy is not a Jew right now, in my mind. He is a supporter of the state of Israel. He's like Michelle Bachmann. He's like Mike Huckabee. He's like Bibi Netanyahu. That's the classification I make on this.
He's an American Zionist. This has nothing to do with his religion or anybody's religion. This has to do with our foreign policy.
And they use it like a shield, and they should know what that means.
This coward, yeah.
But the jokes he's talking about forbidding, just so we all remember, are the ones that were like the one he just made, a minute and a half ago on our show.
The same podcast.
They control the media.
Same podcast. He says it's in the same show.
They control the media because Greta's getting some sympathy in it.
Oh,
Any, I guess.
They barely cover. They don't cover Palestinians at all. Are you joking me? I mean, he sounds like the Likud people in that poll I just cited.
It basically is.
Half of Israelis think that Fox News is too sympathetic to Palestinians, and that's where Dave Portnoy is at.
And that's the terminal point for anybody who supports Israel. Is you're going to be Likud.
You're a lunatic.
I think right now you probably
nothing.
don't do it.
Nothing. Silence everything. What do you? Every comedian, don't tell a joke about it. Because that's how the world works. I agree with you.
Go back to your question. When does freedom of speech impinge
That was your
on freedom
question,
of
not
religion?
mine. That was your question, not mine.
Answer it.
How many deaths?
Yeah.
I don't have an answer.
Americans
what's your
citizens.
answer? What's your answer to that question?
Now.
We're there.
Now.
So now what? So now what do we do?
So maybe you stop with the fucking Jew jokes and act like it's not a big deal when someone does fuck the Jews in a bar.
But here's the thing. I'm with you.
Of course, if people say like they did at Portnoy's bar, interesting the kind of crowd that draws. But if they put up a fuck the Jews thing, yeah, kick them the fuck out, of course.
Horrible. Anti-Semitic. Horrible.
Yeah. Not the same as protests in Israel.
Yep.
1,000% on that. You should fucking kick those people out. Of course you should.
I'm not talking about kicking them out. I'm talking about...
You want to go to jail? Like, what do you want? Like...
You are defending this guy Mick for what he said right after that happened. He's not anti-Semitic.
I'm not defending him. No,
I'm
not defending him, Dave. What I'm saying is you should have him on here or somebody else like that and fucking fight with them because then you have a conversation.
That's what this idiot wants.
Dave, these guys that wrote the thing at the bar, fuck the Jews, right?
Yes.
You're going to fucking fly them to Auschwitz. Some guy tweets at you something. You want to fucking... He's not,
it was a bar I owned. It was a bar I owned.
They should have been kicked out. So, but my thing is...
No, it's not just kick out, Kirk. Are you ignoring what's going on in the world
No,
right
I'm
now?
not. What, Dave, what do you want to do to those guys? What do you
don't think it's related?
What do you want to do with those guys in the bar? Put them in jail for 50 years? Fine. I don't care.
I didn't say that. You're quite literally changing everything you say, Kirk. If you just want me to kick him out, not mention it, not care that this kid is anti-Semitic, shut up. If you just want me to ignore it,
don't tell me to shut up.
Shut the fuck up, you bald fuck.
Okay, go ahead.
Can you pause for just a second?
I'll never.
Do you notice how he flexed his power as a owner and boss just like twice in a minute?
Yep.
Just wait.
One about the bar. He could kick him out because it's a bar I own. But that's not enough for Dave. We got to criminalize that free speech, according to him. And then he shuts down his employee for being a little bit too...
He goes even further.
I'm sorry. Hate speech is against the law. That person could have been prosecuted. They could have faced some charges. I was on a jury that was about a woman, a black woman, who got verbally abused for being black. And yeah, I voted to indict. Like, we already have laws about this. But the difference is Dave made a joke about Jews owning the media and wanted to drop a missile on Greta Thunberg. So it seems a little bit contradictory to me.
Never recover from that, Dave. Go ahead, continue. I'll never recover.
Well, you're the one who big boss man, don't tell. I'll tell you work for me.
I am
okay, go ahead, continue.
You little bitch, you work for me.
Sure, you bet. For now,
you
continue.
don't? For now, quit. I don't care.
Is this show or not a show? Like, is it a show or not a show? Like, we can't have a conversation?
You're an idiot.
Okay, continue.
You're literally saying people should be allowed to make Jew jokes, say whatever they want right fucking now.
Yes, I think people should be allowed to make jokes.
So how many motherfucking Jews have to be killed before you stop?
Then I don't think...
What we're seeing here is fascist hysteria. How many Palestinians need to be killed by the state of Israel before Dave Portnoy wonders, hey, maybe this rising anti-Semitism that has people coming to my bar is being somewhat provoked by the genocidal state that's saying it's doing so in the name of all Jews. And by the way, Dave Portnoy supports it.
He got real red there. I mean, look, I understand that if you're tanning that often, there's a baseline of redness that you got to...
Is there some...
or drinking, maybe.
Or drinking, that's another possibility. Or
some other intake method.
Or, some others.
Medicinals.
Yeah.
I don't think...
What else? Where else is that happening with the religion or people?
I don't think those psychopaths, I'm with you, they're scumbags, they're the worst people on the earth. You
don't think it's all related?
But Dave, you're telling a comedian not to make a joke?
His dog just came in the background.
I'm with you, but you said stop all jokes. Screaming.
Jew jokes of that nature.
Okay. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Now,
go back 10 seconds. I talked over it, but I just noticed that his dog appeared in the background because of the screaming. Go on.
Am I going for a walk soon?
But Dave, you're telling a comedian not to make a joke?
It's not a comedian.
I'm with you, but you said stop all jokes.
Jew jokes of that nature now.
We'll ban Jew jokes of that nature. We'll get the Constitution, we'll get Congress, and stop Jew jokes of that nature.
I'll go back to this.
Yeah.
When does freedom of speech impinge on freedom of religion?
I don't think freedom of speech should. I think freedom of speech is the most important thing in this country.
Okay, so people can go kill the Jews, and there's no responsibility if someone goes and kills Jews.
No, we
That's
have
not
hate crime
speech.
Legislation. What the fuck are you talking about?
That's literally, if people kill, that's literally the definition of murder, not speech.
No, look, graffiti and something. But if you go up to a Jewish person and you said, I'm on Hitler time, I think we should kill the Jews. That's against the law.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, these men, they just can't. They can't be trusted to make decisions. They're too emotional, Dave.
I mean, who am I as a man supposed to look up to here?
Yeah, we got Stavi. He's our.
This is supposed to be because the right wing is all like the male role models. Who am I supposed to look up to? The guy on the left who's not saying shit. The guy on the right who tries to flex his spine a little bit and then gets put directly in his place and just has to sit there and take it. I can't imagine I'm angry at basically all three of these guys, but it's really pathetic. This is pathetic.
Here, pull this up, and then who knows? We don't need to hear any more of this, but it's just people want a sense of Portnoy's deep anti-Arab and anti-Muslim racism as he cries about wanting to criminalize certain hate speech. Let's see how he engaged. This is pretty early on in their show. Not sure when this was. It's funny because the one good guy that still works there is on the top left, sort of good, although again, we're talking in degrees here, and by comparison, Big Cat, who mocks him at the end. But this is just like how he thinks about Arab people and Palestinians. This just came out in a live stream they must have done like 10, 15 years ago.
Kaepernick not standing for the national anthem. This has become a huge story. So I'm going to say something that's racist, but I don't think it's racist. I don't think if you think something and don't say or act upon it, you can be called a racist.
But you're saying it. But you're going to say it.
I'm going to say it. When I heard this story, I didn't read it. I didn't know why he was saying there. I was like, oh, he's an ISIS guy. Like, that was my original thought, because he kind of looks like...
He is very confusing. He is very confusing. I will give you that.
Throw a head wrap on this guy.
Wait, you thought he was not standing for the national anthem because he wanted to, like, kill all Americans?
No, I thought he maybe had some terrorist Arabic...
All right, listen.
Maybe it was like on Palestine's side or something.
That's dumb.
That's an interesting comment.
It gets worse.
But he is first team all racial confusion. I don't know what's going on there.
He has the beard.
It's not crazy.
He's got a Jufro.
Like he's got a terrorist video.
Jufro, terrorist beard, terrorist skin.
Yeah.
It's confusing.
So I didn't give much thought of it. I was like, why wouldn't he stand? I'm not like, he thinks black people, which I guess he's black?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so I didn't know that. I thought he was Arabic. So when I think an Arab person is not standing for the national anthem, I go terrorist right away. This can't be held against me. It's just how my brain works. You can't say I would never do anything, but that's how my brain works. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest.
I can't laugh at you because I went down this road with Al Jazeera. Sometimes your brain just goes terrorism, and so Dave's is Colin Kaepernick, mine is Al Jazeera. It just happens, Dan. It just happens.
No, I just like this new. It used to be, I got a black friend. I'm not racist. Now we're doing. You can't hold my racist brain against me.
Bill Parcells. No offense to the Japs.
That's it. All right. Did that prove my point for me, right?
But some Israelis were killed after keeping people in a concentration camp for decades and decades and decades. So free speech is over now.
What happened to if you don't act upon it, it's not racist? That's what he said at the start of that.
I mean, just talking shit.
Legalize comedy.
Yeah. Terrorist skin, pretty rough there also by that guy KFC Barstool who he went pretty viral for having really seedy affairs when his wife was pregnant.
What Dave is exhibiting there is just standard issue Zionism.
Yep.
How many people need to die? Well, they don't think Palestinians are people, so that type of quantification calculation seems irrelevant. But 2 supporters of Israel get killed in America after a year and a half of genocide. Never mind the young Palestinian boy killed by his landlord because he's supposedly a terrorist, a guy who had apparently the same kind of racist brain that Portnoy has there. The 3 students, one of whom at least, I think one, maybe paralyzed for life, shot in Vermont because they were in keffiyehs. What number, Dave, before we stop making jokes about dropping bombs on Greta Thunberg? What number?
Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.